My friend Marion, she does your videos. So I think sometimes it's too high, she can't see your bottom half.
Oh, can't she?
Well.
No, it's okay. The bottom half, like now the mat is in it. Like
just maybe from here. It just depends what we're doing.
Yes, and also the yes. Beforehand I had like head cut off, so it's been like now.
A learning curve.
It is a learning curve.
We now look through it and see if it's.
Yeah, go on then, please, if you don't mind. That would be helpful. And also,
yeah, it's good.
The technique is not like working for me at the minute. Like not always. So this is why I haven't really put anything else on, because it seems to fragment for some reason. Like it turns itself off, or it comes in two parts, and need editing software to kind of bring it together. So it's all a bit, not quite priority at the moment. But we're getting
technology.
Yeah, it's fine when it works, but if it's quirky, it's a bit tricky. So, welcome in a different way today. So we're going to all be on a chair. If you put your feet down, have like a nice grounding, and if you find that your feet don't reach the floor, which
it's just cold.
Yes, or if it is cold, then by all means, I have got my chair next to the mat, which is quite nice, or on the mat. Or if it feels more comfortable to bring your feet up a little bit, then do that, because we want to be mostly comfortable. Would you like just to try it?
I've got one here if I need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I just thought it might be quite nice to experience the breathing, the cleansing breath that I would like to do again in a sitting down fashion, because we've done that a few times together. It is a cleansing breath, where we take a deep inhalation, and then we snap the tummy muscles towards the belly button or in to force the exhalation out through the nose, and I'm just going to show you once more, and we're going to focus on our breath, noticing how it goes into the belly, and then take an inhalation to prepare, and then exhale and release the stomach muscles quickly again. So the inhalation takes care of itself, and the exhalation is forced through the contraction, blowing the air out through the nose. And sometimes you might need a tissue through this. So we're going to do 3 rounds, and then when we do it again, then there are options. You might find it is differently sitting on a chair, and you might prefer that to sitting on the ground. And I just thought if we all sit on a chair, then we can figure out if that's any better or worse, or what is preferable. So we'll do the same thing, getting our sitting bones nice and long. If you can help it, move away from the support at the back and enjoy the seat on the chair bit, and supporting your spine or by yourself. And then take a moment to have your hands on your legs and close your eyes or lower your gaze in front of you. Lift your toes to connect your feet nicely down to the ground, and then drop the feet back down, like the toes back down. And then lifting the toes again and dropping them back down. And start to bring your awareness into today's session, allowing yourself to be open-hearted and minded to explore the movements of your own body and your breath, observing all that is about you. This is the time that you've made for yourself. Take all my suggestions and descriptions as invitations, but make this practice and journey your own. And start by bringing your awareness away from external sounds that you might pick up, allowing your awareness to travel inward into your own world, noticing the movement of your mind, the thoughts that you carry. Could be plans, memories, and allowing the activity of your mind to step out of your awareness, allowing it to take place in the background as you bring your awareness towards your breath, noticing what it feels like right now, how smooth or ragged it might be. And then notice your physical body, the soles of your feet on the floor. Areas of your body that is holding your structure upright, where it takes effort and where it seems effortless. And then let's start to bring some movement into the body before we practice the cleansing breath. So if you like to inhale with me and then exhaling, dropping the left ear onto your left shoulder. And then on the next inhale, taking the head through the center and exhaling over to the right ear onto the right shoulder. And then again, switching sides with an inhale and an exhale in your own time. And then next you can, instead of dropping your ear over to the left shoulder, when you come through the center, then take your nose so you look over the shoulder, and then bring the head back into the center and look over the other shoulder. Your eyes can remain closed or gazing. And start to pick up sensations around your spine and your neck. And then allow your hands to drop next to your hips and give them a little shake. Allow them to be nice and heavy. And then let's inhale, taking the arms up, keeping the eyes forward on the nose, and then exhaling, bringing the arms back down to the side, turning the palms and taking the hands up, turning the palms and as they're traveling down towards the side of your hips. And then turning again, this time let's take the gaze up to look at the fingertips. Feel comfortable, let them touch, and then exhaling, taking the arms down and taking the gaze all the way down towards your chest. Inhaling, turning the palms, look up and reach up, and then exhaling, taking the palms down, taking the gaze down to your chin, down towards your chest. Two more, inhaling to look up, and then exhaling, taking your arms and head down, and then one more inhale, and on the exhale taking your head and gaze all the way down, and then releasing the arms, allow them to be heavy, wriggling your shoulders if that feels great. And then we're going to move on to the cleansing breath. So if it helps you to have your hands on your tummy or even on your chest or both, or if not, you can have them on your thighs, anywhere where it makes you feel more connected to your breath and to the actions we're going to take together. So inhaling and exhaling deep into the belly, feeling that rise and fall. And then we're going to, before we start, let me remind you to work in your own speed of exhalation in your own length in pacing them, each exhalation. And if any of this doesn't feel quite right, if you feel this is not for you, then take this time to observe your breath and let the sound of the practice wash over you. If you have your deep breath down in your belly, then take an inhalation to prepare. And exhale, release. Taking a few resting breaths and using the tissue if necessary. Picking up any sensations, the effects of the first round. And then let's take another inhale to prepare. And exhale, release. Again, allowing the breath to flow in its own way to rebalance, find its own way. And then let's take the next inhalation to prepare. And exhale, release. Allowing the breath to flow naturally, allowing your awareness to pick up any sensations around your nose and sinuses. And then release your hands and pick up your feet to take your socks off if you feel comfortable in practicing without wearing any socks. Otherwise you can leave them on, but it will come into standing. So you can leave the chair behind and make your way to your mat. And we'll be looking at our own personal mechanics of the ankle, the knee, and also the hip. So it's a little bit of a mixed session with some exploration of how your own unique body functions. So yeah, so warm up, let's stand in the middle of the mat and take the feet like nicely supporting your hips with a generous gap between the feet, and find yourself a nice tall posture, because we're going to start moving with our mouth. I quite like this exercise. I do it a lot when I'm driving, so if people see me in the back mirror, that must look really odd. But you will see why. It is, we're going to use the figure of 8 all the way through our warm-up, and we're going to start with our mouth. You're forming an O with your mouth, and then move that around in a figure of 8, and it looks something like this.
I did some face yoga.
Do you recognise this one? Yeah. You might have done the figure of 8 as well, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you feel comfortable doing that, have a go. Trying to move the O shape all around to be a figure eight. Whilst you do that, notice what your eyes are doing.
Yeah.
That's good for your eyesight to do that with your eyes.
Yes, we're going to look at the eyes in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exactly right. So now, whilst you're doing the figure of eight with the mouth, really difficult to talk and doing it. So you carry on, even if I'm talking, finding your figure eight that works for you, and then start, once you notice what your eyes are doing, allow them to follow the figure of eight that you're doing, shaping with your mouth. And then you can even add the head gently, so the nose can move along. And then you can start to let go of the mouth and concentrate more on the movement of your eyes and of your nose, making that a lot more larger, like a bigger figure of eight. And then start to incorporate your neck and even a little sway from side to side. And allow your breath to flow. If you're using Ujjayi breathing, you can start applying that already in the back of your throat, or allow your breath to flow naturally. And then to make that figure of eight even bigger, start to add your shoulders and bending your knees, exaggerating the movement from side to side, so you're stretching the figure of eight across your left and your right, but don't feel restricted. You can also, if it feels comfortable, move forward or backwards. Just allow that figure of eight develop the way that you, and I've forgotten we're not doing the mouth until later again, until you find the shape that feels nice for you today. And you can, if it feels comfortable, you can use add your arms. And make it as wide as possible. Notice if your eyes are still moving with you, or your head. In the figure of eight. And then pause where you are. Take a couple of breaths here in the freeze. Noticing where your limbs are located, the pressure on each foot. And then reverse the movement if you can remember which way you've gotten into the freeze. In large movements, and then starting to gently bring it in. Again, reducing, remembering the head, kind of was one of the first ones. We're going in reverse, the opposite direction, calming down the movement of the body, bringing it down to the movement of the head and the eyes, and then reducing that down to the movement around of the nose and the eyes, and then adding the mouth. Letting go of the movement of the nose, letting go of the movement of the eyes, and letting go of the movement of the mouth. Now we're going to bring our feet closer together and switch to the feet. And you bring your one foot onto the mat and start to do a figure of 8 with your heel. So you might need to see which distance allows you to do that the best. And here again, notice what range of movement you might have. Which part of the foot you want to involve. Are you staying on the toes? Or you're going to bring the toes more into it by pushing into them, rolling over the sides. And then go the other way. Noticing also the work that the other foot is doing, the ankle of your foot that's holding your body weight. And then bring that foot that's just been doing the figure of 8 back and swap over to the other foot, which is now really looking forward to getting the same treatment, at least mine is. Allowing the ankle to be part of this movement. And then the other side, like turn the direction. And notice how different the first ankle might feel and providing the support, or equally tiring from the effort. And then allow those feet to come back. Maybe allow them to walk through your toes a couple of times. And then we're going to bring the feet out. And so we've done a lot of side movement. Now let's bring our awareness to our spine and the movement of cat-cow that we often do on all fours. So you can have your hands on your groin, and then we're going to inhale, look up, and on the exhale, drop the head down and allowing the spine to curve, bending the knees, and then inhaling to look up, lengthening the legs, and on the exhale, dropping down. And again here, I'm inviting you to make that movement your own. I'm just going to turn sideways. So even we're inhaling, we're noticing like a long lift along the spine and possibly a back bend if that feels comfortable. On the exhale, allowing to come down, curling the spine, and then coming back up. Inhaling and exhaling using your own length of breath and your own limit of movement. How far you want to stand up, how small you want to do this movement, and really feeling into the spine and into your breath. Notice if those two are supporting each other, and how your weight shifts over your feet, where there might be areas along the spine that feel that are looking forward to a further stretch later in our time together today, and earmark areas that you'd like to allow to receive those stretches. And then with the next inhalation, come up to standing and release, give everything a little shake. Now I would quite like to move into these exploration of the two movements. Is everyone happy to move the feet like so on the heels and bringing the toes out? Does that all feel comfortable enough?
Penguin feet.
Penguin feet and straight feet. I like that. I might use it actually. My penguin feet. I would probably use it with the kids, but haven't really thought about it. So, we're going to start off with penguin feet. Why not? And yes, and we're going to bring the hands in prayer, and then inhale, taking the arms forward, bending the knees. Exhale, turn the palms up. Inhaling, taking the arms out to the side. Exhale, and then inhale, come up. And exhale, bring the hands back into prayer. Then we're going to change the feet to straight feet. Inhaling, taking the arms forward and come down. Exhale, turn the palms up. Inhaling, turning the palms, taking the arms out. And then exhale, inhale, come up. And exhale, dropping the hands down. And then move again. Inhale, inhale. And then on the exhale, take the arms forward and dropping the knees, palms facing up. Inhaling, taking the arms out to the side. Turn your feet straight. Inhaling, look up. And exhale, come down into prayer. Inhale, stand up. Turn your feet to penguin feet. Inhale, and on the exhale, drop your hips and taking the hands down. Inhaling, taking the arms out to the side. Exhale. Inhaling, stand up and look up, turn your feet. And exhale, taking the hands down. Inhale. Exhaling, turning bending the knees and taking the arms forward. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale here. Inhale, look up and reach up. And exhale, bringing the hands in prayer, turning the feet. Let's do one more round. Inhale. Exhaling, dropping the knees, taking the arms out. Inhale, take them out to the side and exhale. Inhaling, look up and reach up. And exhale, bring the feet and the hands down and forward. Inhale, and on the exhale, dropping the hips, taking the hands forward. Inhale, taking the arms out, and exhale. Inhaling, look up, and exhale, bring the hands back down. Nice. Have you had a chance to feel the difference between the two movements in your ankles and your knees, in the way that your hip travels?
It affects your thighs in different ways.
It does, yes. Now I'd like you to explore that movement with a partner if you feel happy enough to work with someone. If you would rather work with a chair, you can as well, it's optional.
Margaret's not chair. Are you coming to mine now? I shall come to you, dear.
I will use the chair to demonstrate, so that's going to be my partner. But if you have a partner, which would be better, hopefully Karen will be back and work with you. And, but if not, it will be a chair. So I would like you to repeat the same movements. And but slightly, and watch each other, find a way to communicate, talking is an option.
That's not hard, is it? Oh, we can do that one.
Or find another way. And so you're holding on to each other's hands, and I'm inviting you to start off with penguin feet, and then very slowly explore, not on your own, with a partner. Sorry, I'm being very strict on this right now. So you're helping each other and also communicate how far down you want to go. It doesn't have to be all the way like this. And then do that a couple of times, and then change the feet and do that, and helping each other, working with each other, and see how your journey goes. Yes, so you
I have been practicing. I'm making the fire and
to kind of do the fire like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a penguin. Yeah.
with my feet flat.
Oh, the flat.
That is, well, don't,
Oh yeah, I'm not doing the brain.
Then we can move back.
I am actually.
Well, she might decide to come up then.
and take a chance to choose both ways. Also explore with the width between your feet. You might find a difference in that.
And then we do
straight feet. I can get nerves.
You say bring your feet in.
Yes, take the opportunity to explore even with the width between your feet and how that's, how that feels differently.
Used to do A-E-I-O-U, didn't we? This is like ballet. Ooh.
And notice how it feels between the ankles.
Surely start.
And also notice how it feels like, what you're doing with your upper body. If you notice the difference between the way that your legs are positioned.
Marion's listening.
What does it do with your upper body? Like, what is your tendency?
Yeah. Am I passing you over to? No, not at all.
Okay, did you ever go in each direction? Yes? Yes? Good. Now I would like you to return to your own mat.
Oh dear. That was fun. Oh, no. Laughing yoga now. There is a video. There is a video on laughing yoga.
This is it. Yeah, when you watch this again, you will probably be laughing. So now, now that you've kind of like, got into your warmed up and kind of like got to experience like how your own body works, because we're also very different to each other, and even each side can be so different to one another. So you might have picked up a lot or less, but now I'm inviting you to do the same without a partner by and that is going to be our balance and our concentration part of today. So I'm inviting you to let's start with penguin feet. So you might recall from the partner work which widths might feel quite comfortable for you. And we're going to start our journey down in a prayer position. If you do feel from that experience that a chair would, forget me, we're going to be fine. But trust yourself and honor yourself where you go as far as it feels comfortable, and then pause or come back up at any time. So be your own judge all throughout. And now take a moment feeling the palms of your hands, lowering your gaze towards the floor in front of you, but keep your eyes open, using anything that you might notice on the floor as an anchor of your vision. Noticing your penguin feet carrying your weight. And then use your breath as a guide to support your movement, your experience, your journey down towards the floor. Take a couple of breaths in your own length, and then inhale as a preparation, and on the exhale allow yourself to bend your knees and journey down. And I said it is a balance, so if you feel like you want to take your hands out in front or onto the side, then please do, because that might help with the balance and the counterbalance of coming low, or finding the way that you like to be. And then gently push into the feet to come up. And take the hands down and release. Very nice. We're going to do it again. We're going to do each position twice. And then on the next one, we're going to pause a little bit longer. I could see some of you might have liked to stay a little bit longer where we were, so you can come out or remain. Let's take the feet forward. Bring the hands back into prayer. Starting our awareness down in the footprints of our feet, acknowledging the different position of the ankles, the knees, and the hips. Fixing the gaze on something in front of you. Inhale, and on the exhale, slowly make your journey down. And again here, allow the upper body to respond to how it needs to be, to allow you to bend as far as you like to go. Take arms out in front if that feels useful, or bring them into prayer. And then slowly push into your feet to come all the way up. Bring your hands back into prayer. Inhale and exhale, release. How is that?
Harmony, it looks.
Well, I think you're wearing the effort all very well. My head's already thinking, is it too easy?
No.
So this time let's rub our hands together before we start out again. Adjust your penguin feet in a way that you like them to be. And then allow the warmth of your hands to travel through the palms and your arms and your upper body, all the way down into your feet. Notice your breath and a space in front of you. Let's take an inhale together, and on the exhale, lower your hips and see where it takes you. And again, you can, at any point, take the hands apart. And this time, wherever you are, take a moment to pause and feel into the sensations of where you've reached and where you're at. Notice especially the ankles and the knees. How is your breath changing? Can you notice where your center of gravity might be? And then when you're ready, remain for a few more breaths or bring yourself back up into standing. Bring the hands back into prayer, acknowledging the shift from sitting down and standing and what it might feel like in your head and your remainder of the body. And then inhale, and on the exhale, release the arms and take a little break. Shake everything out. And take your feet forward. Bring your hands back into prayer, let it rock this time with the hands. And then back into the heart center, lowering the gaze. Allowing the warmth to travel through your hands, shoulders, torso into your feet. Notice your gaze. Inhale, and then on the exhale, allow your knees to bend. Notice the difference of sensations along your ankles and your knees. And then use your arms as a counter in the way that it feels comfortable. And notice if you're still breathing, how that might be changing. And stay with your sensations of in your own body, your focus. And then on the next inhale, stand up, pushing through your feet. Bring your hands into prayer. Taking a few breaths to acknowledge the shift. Position in your own body. Inhale, and on the exhale, release. Very nicely done. Great concentration. How was that? Interesting?
Yeah.
Good. Now, with all that preparation work you've done, we're going to do a little flow. So bear that in mind, how you've experienced how your feet feel and your ankles and your knee when it has like the different position, penguin and straight. As we're going through the next stages, it's a little flow, so hopefully that's like a little bit of fun and warms us up before we go onto the floor. So we're going to start on the side. And we're going to have the feet forward and then bring our hands back into prayer. And then inhaling, reaching up and look up. And on the exhale, take the gaze, keep the gaze up, and exhale, taking the arms down and back. Inhaling, interlace the fingers, and exhale, reach forward, bending from the hips. And I lied, inhaling to come back up, release the hands, put them in your groin, and on the exhale, take your hands forward towards the floor. Inhaling to lift or lengthen your upper body, and exhale, dropping the upper body back down. And then inhaling, come all the way up, and turn the hands back in prayer and rotate towards the front of the mat. And exhale, dropping down, bending your front leg. And here notice if the sensations are similar to the ones we've had before. Inhaling, taking the arms up, and exhale, reaching forward. And don't worry, your hands don't need to touch. They can if that feels good, otherwise let them be free. Inhale, come up. And exhale, lengthen the right foot. And exhale, look up. Inhale here, and then exhale, taking the arms behind and interlace the fingers. Inhale, look up, and exhale, lean over the straight leg, lifting the hands behind you. Inhaling to come back up, and exhale, release the arms and bend the front knee. Inhaling, taking the arms out to the side, and then bend the elbow and lean over the front leg. Inhaling to come back up, and exhale, turn the foot to the side. Inhaling, coming back into prayer, and exhale. Inhale, reach up and look up. Exhaling, taking the arms behind, keep the gaze up. Inhale, and on the exhale, lean from the hips, allowing the hands to travel down the legs, dropping the head. Inhaling to lift or lengthen the upper body, and exhaling, dropping the front back down. Inhaling to come all the way up, bringing the hands into prayer, and then exhaling, now turning to the back of your mat and bending the front leg. Lovely. Inhaling, reaching. Now you should have the opposite leg forward to what you had before, right? Inhaling, reach up, and then exhaling with the bent knee, lean forward over your front leg. Inhaling to come back up, and exhaling, straighten the front leg, and if it feels comfortable, lean back or just straighten your spine to look up. Exhaling, taking the arms out and behind and interlace your fingers. Inhale, and then exhale, lifting, leaning over the front leg that is now straight, and lifting the hands behind you. Beautiful. Inhaling to come back up, and exhaling, turning to the side into warrior two. Inhale, and then the exhale, bend your arm to rest on your elbow and lean over the front leg. Lovely. Inhaling to come back up, and then turn the feet. Exhale, bring your hands back into prayer. Let's take a couple of resting breaths here. Recenter. Let that sequence settle in, and then let's go again. Inhaling, look up and reach up, and exhaling, whilst looking up, take the arms down and behind. Inhale, and then exhaling, allowing the hands to travel along the legs, whilst the upper body travels down towards the floor. Inhaling to bring the upper body back up, and then exhaling, going for another dive. Inhaling, come all the way up, and then exhaling, bringing the hands in prayer and turn to the front, bending the front leg. Inhaling, taking the arms up, and exhale, leaning over the bent front leg. Inhaling to come back up, look up, and exhaling, taking the arms down as the gaze stays up. Inhale, interlace, forgot to straighten the front leg. So if you straighten the front leg, inhale, and then the exhale, bend from the hip joint and lift the arms behind you, looking at your front big toe. Inhaling to come back up, and exhaling, rotate slightly to the side, and bending the front leg again. Inhale, and on the exhale, bend your front arm, and then exhaling, the back arm over, and if you like, you can look under your armpit towards the ceiling. Inhaling to come back up to the center, turn your foot, and exhale, bringing your hands back into prayer. Inhaling to look up, exhaling, taking the arms behind while still looking up. Inhale, and then exhaling, allowing your hands to travel along your thighs down towards the floor. Inhaling to lift or lengthen the upper body, and then exhaling, allowing the upper body to drop down once more. Inhaling, come all the way up. Bring your hands in prayer and turn to the back of your mat. Exhaling, dropping the feet, the knee down in front. Inhaling, taking the arms up, and then exhaling, leaning forward over the front leg. Lovely. Inhaling to come back up and straighten the front leg, and exhaling, look up and reach up and dropping the arms behind you. Interlacing the fingers. Inhaling, look up, and exhaling, leaning over the straight front leg, looking at your toes. Inhaling to come all the way up. Turn to the side into warrior one. Exhale, bending the front knee. Inhale, and on the exhale, bend the front elbow to rest onto your bent knee, and take the other arm over. If you like, you can look under your armpit towards the ceiling. Inhaling to come back up, and exhaling, turning both feet straight to the side, bring hands in prayer, and exhale. Taking a couple of resting breaths here. And then inhaling to reach up. Exhaling, taking the arms down while still looking at the ceiling. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhaling, allowing the hands to travel along the legs to drop the upper body down. Inhaling, coming up once more, and then exhaling, dropping the upper body down again. Inhaling, come all the way up. Bring your hands in prayer, turn towards the front of the mat, and exhale, bending the front knee. Inhaling, reach up, and exhaling, lean over your bent front leg, taking the gaze down. Inhaling to come up, straighten the front leg, and exhaling, taking the arms down, look up. Inhale, interlacing the fingers, and exhale, leaning over the front leg, lifting the arms behind. Inhaling, come all the way up. Release the hands, turn to the side into warrior one, exhaling. Inhale, and then the exhale, bend your arm and drop and take your gaze towards the ceiling under your armpit. Inhaling to come back up straight. Turn feet, bring your hands into prayer. Let's take a couple of breaths here. Noticing how the breath is changing. Inhaling, look up and reach up. Exhaling, keeping the eyes on the ceiling, and take the arms down. Inhale, and then exhaling, taking the hands onto the legs to travel down forward. Inhaling to lift or lengthen the upper body, and then exhaling, allowing again to travel down towards the mat. Inhaling to come up, and putting the hands in prayer, turning to the back of your mat as you're exhaling and bending the front knee. Inhaling to reach up and look up, and exhaling from the hip joint, fold over the bent front leg. Inhaling to come back up, straighten the front leg, and exhaling, taking the arms down and behind you. Inhaling, interlacing the fingers and look up, and exhaling, bending over the straight front leg, looking at your toes and ankle. Inhaling to come up, and then exhaling, open up towards warrior 2. Inhale, and then exhaling, bending the front arm and swing the other one over your side, looking up towards the ceiling under your armpit. Inhaling to bring both legs straight and the toes forward, and exhale, bringing the hands back into prayer. Taking a few breaths here. And then roll your feet slowly in with penguin feet, and straight opposite to penguin feet until you bring them back together, and give it all a shake. Well done. It's good. Hard?
No, that's good.
Good. Now, and did you notice, could you feel the differences as we moved along with the work we did earlier? Did it kind of come together a bit for some of you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Few reassuring cracks, that sort of thing.
Then I would quite like to, from there, yes, if you come to the back of the mat, let's take a nice step forward with one foot, and then bend the front knee, allowing to have a good support under your hips, so don't make your feet too tight, allowing a nice supportive base for yourself. And then we're going to start in warrior 2, with the same leg and arm in front. And here allow your pelvis to be nicely supported. So you could actually spend a lot of time here, the way that your legs are supporting you, and your arms, you might want to rotate them with the palms facing up. See how that is different. Feel into your spine. And then inhale, and on the exhale we're going to drop down onto the elbow and taking the arm over as we did earlier, turning the gaze under the armpit towards the ceiling, and having the arm at the top nice and soft, bringing the effort more into the length of your spine. And then let's move dynamically as we stay low over the front leg, but let's move the arm that is facing towards the ceiling, and like inhaling it towards the ceiling or into the space behind you, and then exhaling, taking it over the head. Inhaling, bringing it up and behind, and exhaling over the head. Inhaling, and on this exhale allow that arm to drop with the back of the hand towards your lower back, so it kind of swings behind you if that feels comfortable. And then take your gaze over your back shoulder. Inhaling and exhaling. Notice, is there a lot of weight on your front arm, or are you just resting it there for
For a friend.
and then inhale to come back up, and then come out and shake it out. Okay, let me find out what's been going on there.
Sorting me out.
Was there a lot of weight on the front? Okay, let's see if we can do that a little bit differently on the other side. It will take take time to have to reconnect to the strength of the upper body to hold it, and rely on the arm for less and less support, perhaps. Let's see, I'm here for 3 weeks. All the way up to Christmas.
Only here for 3 weeks.
Okay, now let's come to the back of the mat again. We're going to take the other leg forward and bend the front knee, and then turn it slightly away from the front knee. Again, notice that you have a really good base of your feet with your hips low, the front knee bend, and then taking the arms out in front. And here take a moment to allow to sense into your spine, turning the palms up, noticing how your breath might be supporting you. And then take a nice inhale, and like a full inhale, and on the exhale, drop your elbow down, and you can take the other arm up towards the ceiling, looking over under your armpit. And notice your breath still flowing. And notice how much weight. And maybe give your arm a little that you're resting on. Just allow it to kind of bob up and down a couple of times to make sure that it's a support rather than a crutch. And then inhaling, taking that top arm behind you, and then exhaling it over again. Bring some movement into the shoulder, inhaling and exhaling over. Inhaling over the back and exhale. And then with the next with the next exhale, allow that arm to swing onto your lower back. And take your gaze behind you. Inhaling and exhaling here. Noticing how your breath is changing. And then inhaling to come up and release the arm. And exhale and step forward, shaking everything out. And shaking your wrists, give them a little...
Can I get some water?
Yes, my bottle. Yes, you'd be lucky. By the time you get back, we're on the floor.
No.
So we're just going to allow the wrists to, because we're going to walk on our hands in a moment, but let's just give them a little wriggle and a little stretch, and a few breaths of stretching them and strengthening them out before we put some weight on. So if you bring your palms together and allowing those wrists to sink down and the elbows to lift, keeping the palms together, but coming to your maximum comfortable range of movement or flexibility. And then take a few breaths here. Nice and long breath. And then on the inhale, press your palms together, and then exhale, loosen the push. Inhaling, then taking the palms apart, and exhale. Inhale and exhale, bringing the palms back together. Inhaling to push the palms together, and exhale to soften. Inhaling, taking the palms apart, and notice if you keep the angle, and exhale. Inhale and exhale, bringing the palms back together. Inhaling to push them together, and exhale, release. Inhaling, pulling the palms apart, and exhale. Inhale and exhale, bringing the palms back together. One more time, inhaling to push palms together, exhale to soften. Inhaling to take the palms apart and exhale. Inhale and then exhale, bringing them back together and release. And now let's take an inhale up. Exhaling, bending from the hips, bringing the hands all the way down, bending the knees, and using those arms hands to walk towards the front of the mat. And then if it feels comfortable, you can walk through a plank before you bend your knees and then shift your body weight back to come into sitting. And then from here, we're going to lie down, bring the knees in for a moment. And with the knees bent, or you can also, if it feels more comfortable, to have the feet on the mat. Just allow yourself to acknowledge the shift of position from upright to being on the floor. Notice the weight of your back. And then drop your feet, if they aren't already, close to your buttocks. And your hands lie palms facing down next to your body. Lift your head to look down your midline or between your knees, and then slowly roll the neck and the head back down. On the next inhale, lifting the head again once more, bringing the chin to the chest, and then exhaling, rolling the neck back until the back of the head is rested on the floor. And here we're going to finish off with a couple of bridge pose moves, but on our heels. So inhaling, lifting the top of the feet, so the sole off the mat, so you're just having the heels on the mat, and exhale. And then on the inhale, allow your pelvis to lift off the mat, and exhale. Inhaling, allowing your arms to rise towards the ceiling. And then on the exhale, allow all the body parts, the arms, the hips, and the feet, to return to the mat. Inhaling, lifting the feet, allowing the heels to remain on the mat. Exhale. Inhaling, lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. And exhale. Inhaling, taking the arms up towards the ceiling. And on the next exhale, bringing all the body parts back down onto the mat. On the next inhale, lifting the front of the feet up so the heels are digging into the ground. And exhale. Inhaling, allowing the pelvis to rise, and exhale. Inhaling, allowing the arms to rise, and exhale. Inhale, and then exhale, taking the arms and the hips and the feet back down onto the mat. Last one, inhaling the front of the feet up so the heels remain. Exhale. Inhaling, lifting the hips, and exhale. Inhaling, lifting the arms towards the ceiling, and exhale. Inhale, and then exhaling, rolling all slowly back down onto the mat. And pause the movement. Notice the length of your breath. If you're using your J, can you feel it in the back of your throat? You might feel your breath in other areas of your body. And then move your arms a little bit further away from your hips, so almost like a capital T, and step your feet out towards the edges of the mat. We're going to close the practice with the physical practice with a lying twist. So take an inhale, and on the exhale, allow the knees to drop to one side, and if it feels comfortable, roll your head into the opposite direction. And allowing the weight of your knees to travel towards the ground. Allowing your awareness to scan through your body, acknowledging the twist in the spine, the twist in your head, the neck. and the sensations of your breath, where it travels now in a different position. Is your breath changing? Is it deepening, becoming more shallow, staying the same? Which area of your body draws the most attention to itself? With the next inhalation, bring your knees back through the center and your head, and with the exhalation, move on to the other side, allowing the knees to drop towards the ground and your head to fall into the opposite direction if that feels comfortable. Work with your own experience and your own body. Make adjustments that feel necessary. To give yourself the best experience for noticing a twist in your spine. And for experiencing the observation of your own breath. And then with the next inhalation, bring your back to the center. Bring your knees back to the center and your tip of your nose. And from here, I'm inviting you to take any stretches that you might feel comfortable with. It might be stretching the arms or picking up the knees, or anything that your body is craving before you're getting ready for rest. Allow anything and everything to get yourself comfortable, and then put some extra clothing on or get yourself a blanket and choose the position that you feel most comfortable in. For most people's favourite part of class, the rest. I have got some.
We've earned it.
Sorry?
We've earned it.
You have, certainly have. And I've got some eye pillows if you like.
Thank you.
I have these before.
Yeah. Thank you.
And if you would go in, and you're very welcome.
She's sorted.
Yes, she is. Do you get a nice scent from it as well?
Not an awful lot, but at least I can take the cover off and wash that. But it's
Yeah.
not overly strong.
Some assistance that you put something for your eyes. Don't wash them.
Oh yeah.
So it all stays
Yeah.
nice and fresh every time. So arrange yourself in a way that you feel comfortable. And as you're lying down, notice the sounds that are around you. Gentle music playing, sounds from each other, the sound of my voice. And how that is becoming quieter, and how the soundscape around you is settling. allowing you to leave the external soundscape behind and observing your internal soundscape that might include your heart and your breath. And all the sensations around you, within you, the comfort on the mat, the warmth of your clothing they provide. And allow this time now to fully rest. This is your resting time. There is nothing else to be done, nothing to accomplish. This is time for your body, your mind to soften, calm, release, and rest. If you have used an Ujjayi breath in the back of your throat, allow that to soften and allow your breath to flow freely. And then bring your attention to your physical body, moving through different parts of your body. And allow yourself to become aware of each part. Starting with your right thumb, right fingertip, tip of your middle finger, tip of your ring finger, and tip of your baby finger. Palm of the hand, back of the right hand, right wrist, elbow and shoulder, right shoulder and right hip, the right knee, right ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. The whole of your right side of the body. Notice it and let it soften. Now the left thumb, tip of the index finger, tip of the middle finger, tip of the ring finger, tip of the baby finger, palm of your hand, the back of your hand, the left wrist, elbow and shoulder, the left hip, knee, the left ankle, the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe and fifth toe. The whole left hand side of your body. Notice it and let it rest. Notice your neck, the front and the back. And then your chin, tip of the nose, space between your eyebrows, right eyebrow and left eyebrow, crown of the head and the ears, right ear and left ear, the back of the head, the whole of the head, the whole of the neck, the whole of the upper body, the whole of the lower body. Be aware of your whole body resting on the mat. allowing your mind to be available to conjure up an image of a beautiful green meadow on a winter's day. There's frost over the grass. The green is shining through the frosty cover. And it's a large meadowy field. And you're planning to walk around on a circular route. You find yourself on the edge, overlooking the frozen field, feeling beautifully wrapped up in warm clothing and shoes, feeling the icy cold air on your cheeks and the tip of your nose. And it feels refreshing, cleansing, whilst you feel warm and comfortable throughout. And you turn to one side to start your circular route across the frozen meadow. And you're walking at a comfortable pace, not too quick, not too slow. And as you're walking, you take in the surroundings. First, you notice the cloud of air that appears in front of your eyes with every exhalation, as the warm air condensates in the cool winter air. You also notice with every inhalation drawing in the cool air through your nostrils. And then you notice a dog barking further away on a walk with its owner. You notice the sky above you in a vibrant blue, no clouds inside, and the lovely sun beaming down from the sky. And as you keep walking, the scenery next to you changes. You're now reached a small hedge on the edge of the meadow. And you pause here as you've spotted some wild birds. There's a robin and a couple of blue tits hopping through the branches of the hedge and down onto the ground, feeling very comfortable with your presence. And it makes you smile. And you carry on your walk. You're about halfway around the meadow now. And the surface is changing a little bit. So you walked across the grass, the frozen grass first. And now it seems more muddy, where the meadow must have been flooded, and of course that is now frozen and crackling under your feet, feeling more lumpy and hard to get over. But that's okay, you take your time with each step, placing each foot securely on the ground, acknowledging some slippery bits and clumps of soil frozen solid under your shoes. And a few more steps across the harder surface. And you're back on the meadow's grass, icy but soft when you put your foot down. You're enjoying the sunshine on your skin as you keep walking and reaching the point where you've started your journey. And you turn around and you reflect on your circular walk. When you started off on the soft ground, noticing the dog barking in the distance, remembering seeing the birds on the hedge, and getting over the frozen, muddy ground, a bit slower and careful, until you return to the familiar spot. And here, you take in the scenery for yourself. And now, knowing it is time to leave that image behind, allow it to drift out of focus, and for your awareness to return into your body lying on the mat in this room. Allowing the sounds of the outside to enter again your awareness. And as the sounds return, so does your acknowledgement of your own body. Start to feel into your fingers and into your toes. Bring some movement back into your arms and legs. And then allow some light back into your eyes. And take any stretches that returns the movement. And taking your time in bringing yourself into a seated position, where I like to chant Om 3 times. You're welcome to chant with me, or let the sound wash over you. May you be delighted, and may you see delight. Namaste. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh, ooh. Where am I? Calm, balanced and peaceful.
Forgotten is all the other stuff.
What?
Thank you. It's not very nice.